Can anyone bat for Stokes at the other end?
I'm not defeated, I believe that I can turn this ship around.
Straight down the ground, Stokes goes. He's hit it sweetly.
Destroy the status quo until I know I've found a common ground.
Hazelwood can't get there. England 56 away.
I'm not alone, I'm just focused in my zone. This is easy.
Wow. Have a look at this.
Scoop fine. Has it gone all the way? It's gone all the way. What an incredible innings this is from Ben Stokes.
Drag leg side. Drag to the boundary. 100 for Ben Stokes. The whole of Headingley, the whole of England rise to Ben Stokes. That's all the way, isn't it? It is all the way. 10 off 2. 27 needed. 6 again.
Wowee! What are we witnessing here from Ben Stokes?
In the air, big cry of catch. Third man comes in. Doesn't carry.
He got his right hand to it as well, Marcus Harris.
Leg side again. 4 more.
Down to 13, that's the microphone shivering in your hand there.
Punch down the ground. And 4. Single figures. Stokes is just standing on his back, praying. He hardly looks at Leach. No, pitched outside leg, pitched outside leg. Got a review, they're going to use the review.
Pitch outside the leg.
Well, that's an awful review.
Field umpire.
It's down the ground. Mid-off is there. It's long enough. It's 6. 1 to tie. 2 to win. Sweep. They run. Non-strikers in. Could be a run. Oh, he's fumbled. He's fumbled. Lyon has fumbled. Oh, now everyone looks. They needed that review. They needed that review. Yes is the call. They'll sneak one. Scores are level. Leach with the most important one he's ever got. Cut away for 4. What an innings, what a player. Take a bow, Ben Stokes. The Ashes well and truly alive because of one cricketer, and that cricketer is Benjamin Stokes. Incredible scenes.
Well, inspirational stuff, wonderful batting. England needs some wonderful bowling this afternoon. Just a quick reminder of the conditions now, the playing conditions. Starting any moment, going to 5:30 for tea and then up to 7:30 at the end of the day. Hopefully the weather will stay clear and we'll get some cricket in, some good cricket in. Right, waiting in the commentary box right now are Ricky Ponting and David Lloyd.
Well, we've lost 19 overs. Play can extend until 7:30. The lights are on. It's still very cloudy. There's a peep of blue sky, but it's very chilly out there for the players. Australia have played pretty well here. 98 for 2 from 26 overs. Run rate of 3.77. They've played well. Labuschagne and Steve Smith back into the team. Eye-catching Labuschagne. He's got into this team and he has a good technique. They've got a decent pitch. It's not as quick as people would have expected. And we're ready to play again. Good afternoon, Ricky.
Afternoon, Bumble. Afternoon, everybody. What a frustrating afternoon it's been so far as well. Cold, wet. The lights are on now here at Old Trafford as well. It'll be a change of ends for Jofra Archer. 5 overs in his first spell, none for 16. And that battle that we've all been looking forward to, there was only the 7 balls that Archer bowled to Steve Smith prior to the luncheon break. We talked about it being cold. He's probably feeling a bit more than most, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he's just been warming up out there with the coaching staff and he's kept his sweaters on. It is bitterly cold out there. There's a real stiff breeze. And we are into September, so that change of ends, and it looks as if he might just have a bit of a breeze behind him. And that picture tells you everything.
And they'll start with the field that they finished with the Stephen Smith. Short leg, leg gully, regulation fine leg, and a man out of deep square leg about 10 yards in front of square, so there's no point. 2 slips in a gully. In comes Archer.
I I think this will be gentle, this first delivery. 79 miles an hour. He's got to crank it up if he can.
Well, it's about 4 miles an hour faster than you thought it might have been. You thought it might have been somewhere around the 75 miles an hour mark, that first delivery.
Great reaction from this crowd. It's a capacity crowd. They've been very patient this afternoon. Clouds have rolled by with a fair amount of rain. Will come from all the eating and drinking establishments, get the seats.
It's been a good partnership, this, between Labuschagne and Smith. 70 runs so far. A really important partnership, I think, in the whole series for Australia. These two have clearly looked their best batsmen right through the series. Labuschagne on the brink of 4 consecutive half-centuries.
Gets him square there. A little bit quicker, 83 miles an hour.
What England did before the break was bowl particularly straight to Labuschagne. We talked about the lines they bowled at Headingley on that sort of 4th or 5th stump line. They've tried to adjust things here today with a heavier onside field. They've actually got the same field in place now that they had for Steve Smith. Says to me they are going to continue with this straighter line.
Well, Ben Stokes is backward square now. He was very fine catching at leg slip, and he's just gone squarer to Labuschagne. Short ball from Archer always tends to nip back towards the right-handed batsman.
Yeah, and Labuschagne knows all about them too, Bumble. He's copped 2 of them in the series, hasn't he? They hit him right flush in the grill. Balls that have pitched 6 or 8 inches outside the off stump, come back off the pitch, followed him. He's been very impressive. Almost unflappable at the crease so far in this series.
Sharp fielding. .88 miles an hour. Crank it up. .99 for 2. Should think it'll be Stuart Broad. Just a change of ends from the opening bowlers. Impressive again, Stuart Broad. Dismissed David Warner again.
Well, these were the 2 wickets to fall this morning. David Warner, the first man to go. That angle again from Stuart Broad. The 5th time he's actually got Warner in the series. And that's the other one that he angles back in to the left-hander, trapped Harris in front. Ball going on to clip the top of Midland leg. Outstanding display again with the new ball. Picked up both wickets, 2 for 24 from his 7 overs. But it will be a change of ends. Breezes going from the left to the right of screen, which will be actually helping an outswinger for Stuart Broad to the right-handers.
Andrew instigated this change of ends. Stuart Broad just coming into the breeze. Australia move on to 100.
Just think about this change of end, Bumble. I think it might have something to do with the fact there's two right-handed batsmen in there now as well. I think Broad would have preferred this end with the left-handers opening the batting, because that actually allowed him to go around the wicket and take the ball away on the breeze from the lefties. Straight away, we've seen Archer switch ends. He's looked more comfortable since he's switched as well.
Well, I think they look better this way to right-handers. There's a little bit of rain in the air again. Tricky time for batsmen having to stop-start. I don't think there's much pace on this delivery. It certainly dribbled through to the keeper.
Not much bounce. This one's skidded through. Beats the outside edge, but doesn't carry through to Bairstow. Good length, but definitely stayed down. And plenty of those out there, I think, this afternoon. Joss Butler got a hand warmer in each hand. Always a nasty time to field in the slips. Freezing cold hands, the ball travelling at 85, 88 miles an hour.
Should have been here in April. Got a good technique as this lad, Labuschagne. Very watchful. Knows where his off stump is.
I think if you look at him compared to some of the other batsmen in this series, it's been the defensive side of his game that's really caught everybody's eye. He's left the ball really well on his defended front foot or back foot. He's kept things really simple. Knows where his off stump is. And there's his first class career. It's the 900s from 63 matches.
Labuschagne moves on to another half-century.
Yeah, well played again, young man. Moves on to his fourth consecutive half-century of the series. Moved up the batting order today, up to number 3, with the omission of Usman Khawaja. A good solid start. 50 coming from 88 deliveries. 8 boundaries.
So Labuschagne has been a consistent scorer since he's come into the team. Impressed with his technique, and he's very watchful. Played test match cricket. For 2. See the way particularly Stuart Broad is bowling to both these batsmen. Very straight, very full, looking for LBW, that little bit of movement late in towards the pads. Both batsmen are moving across from the stance on leg stump into the stumps. Catch them on the move. With every chance of LBW. It's a good effort from Labuschagne. Only 2 Australians previously have scored 4 half-centuries in the first 4 Ashes innings. Michael Hussey is 1. And Herbie Collins.
I wouldn't have got the second one. Let's put it that way. He's actually here this week, Mike Hussey. He's flown in for the last couple of test matches. Caught up with him last night and this morning.
How about Herbie?
I haven't seen Herbie in a little while. Just found out it was in the 1920s, actually, Bumble. We talked a bit about Labuschagne's defensive game and how impressive it's been. So far in the series, he's Well, now that's 160 defensive shots he's played in the series. He's only been dismissed once defending the ball. So he has been ultra impressive. He talked a lot about his love for the game. He loves to talk about cricket, loves to talk about batting, wants to learn.
Well, it's a harmless bouncer. Flying down the leg side. He usually gets his bouncers spot on.
And there was a bit spoken about, wasn't there, pre-game, about how Stephen Smith would come back and how he'd respond to that nasty blow that he copped. And so far, he's just played the same way that he's always played. He's watching the ball closely. That short ball hasn't worried him at all. Swayed out of the way when he's had to. He's ducked when he's had to. It's probably fair to say this is the way that Steve Smith's been seeing the ball the last couple of years. He's helped one on its way. Another one through the leg side. That's racing away in a deep square.
Four more. What a shot. Right, game on.
And that's the one there that will trouble him more, the one that's not overly short. I think we've seen through the series that it's not the really short, almost effort ball bouncer that's troubled the batsman. It's that one there that sort of comes out of nowhere, a bit of a real surprise delivery. Although it wasn't as quick as some of the other deliveries, it's just 82.5 miles an hour, but it's all about the length. Do you try and ride it, or do you try and duck? As Steve Smith just takes a couple of steps to square leg. It's raining quite hard here now, actually. And I think they'll come off. Damascene is asking for the ball. They're going to make a run for it. Off they go.
Usual thing, the fielding side wanting to stay on and get another delivery in. Batsmen are saying, hang on, this is pouring down. It is quite heavy. Very interesting how much of this shower affects this playing surface. It's raining quite hard now. Big hover cover trundles its way out to the middle, but crikey, there's some rain dropping on this now. It's going as quick as it can. Got to get the stumps out of the ground before this gets positioned. Just about in position. Big cloud hanging over Emirates Old Trafford here, but there is blue sky too. I don't think it'll be long. And it's stopped raining now. Fourth umpire is wending his way out to the middle. I don't think the match umpires will be too long. It's stopped raining. There is blue sky just above us. Ground staff communicate with this fourth umpire. Australia have extended to 102 for 2.
It's a frustrating time for everybody. Players have just made their way back out for a couple of overs. The rain comes down again. Labuschagne's 50 again. He's been particularly strong off his pads today. Whenever they've got straight, he's put them away. That's about the shot of the day for mine. Punch straight down the ground. That's where they've attacked him, but he's been up to the challenge. Jack Leach was into the attack. A couple of drag downs, a couple of nice cut shots from Labuschagne. Classic cover drive. Overton pitching up, trying to swing away, and there's another one. That one squirted just behind point on the offside. Well played. 51 not out for Labuschagne.
I think they're going to take this cover off. Both umpires fully donned. And they're going to come back out. England are ready. Always a frustration for a batting side. Just got to feel it there for a couple of overs, and then you've got to go off, you've got to come back, start again. Cover's coming off. short shower. Might just be discussing whether they need to get the rope round again to disperse the water.
Which is an interesting one, isn't it? Because if you're the fielding team, you basically be demanding that they dry the outfield. You don't want to get the ball wet. If you're on the batting team, you'd be saying, no, let's get back out there and play. Try and get the ball into the outfield. Try and get a little bit wet. Joe Root will lead his team back out onto the field.
Well, it used to be that they just bring some rags out. So Steve Smith just looks anxiously. Are we coming out? Yeah. Out they go. England will look at this outfield now. They'll just see how wet it is. They don't want the seam wet. Once the seam gets wet, it'll go soft. So therefore, you'll not get that little bit of movement. Be interesting to see what effect. There's a fair amount. It's just a short shower, but the cover wasn't out there, so it's dropping onto the playing surface. Always tricky to start again as a pair of batsmen. They've got 74 in this partnership, and they've played pretty well. Albers, what have you got?
Well, it just interested me, actually, the way Smith has tried to evade the Archer bouncer today. He's faced 4 bouncers from Archer. He's probably faced about 12 balls from him, all told. But just have a look at the 4 bouncers. I think because of what happened at Lord's, he's definitely trying to go duck it a different kind of way, trying to get it to go over his left shoulder rather than sway inside the way. So this is the 4th. And if you look at that, that's definitely an off-stump line, but he's ducking down and letting it go over his left shoulder. And if you remember at Lord's, he tried to sway inside, and because of the point that you made about Archer nipping the ball back at the right-hander, this is Labuschagne getting one on the grill. It's a much more difficult way to evade the Archer bouncer, I think, swaying inside. So I reckon Smith has given it a bit of thought, and he's trying to go the other way now.
But you can't stress that in these weather conditions, that Archer's probably 10 miles an hour down, and that is significant. Now, 10 miles an hour at that pace. And you can tell that in the previous matches he's been hopping around, Steve Smith. He's a great player. But it's better and more comfortable for him round about 84, 85.
Well, absolutely. And then Archer just becomes another bowler, doesn't he? Anyone or most guys around the world can bowl that sort of speed. And Michael Holding's been going on about it for a test and a half now. If you've got that sort of pace, just use it. And it's up to the captain as well to use you well. Use him in short, sharp bursts. Which is a luxury England have, really, when they have someone like Ben Stokes in the side who can come on and bowl the, do a bit of the donkey work, if you like. It's a good point you make as well, Athers, with the way that Steve Smith plays that short ball, because you think about that extravagant back and across movement he makes, because he gets so far across, it's actually hard to drag his weight back out of the way again. So that's where he got into trouble at Lord's. He was so far across into the line of the ball, and then trying to drag back against your momentum is obviously very difficult.
Right, the stumps just needed some attention. Being reset, and we're off again. Same field. It is a heck of a distance. That last delivery there, just 84 miles an hour. That's 10 down.
That's the uncomfortable length, though, as well, I think. It's not necessarily the one that's above shoulder height. It's that one there up under the armpit that you have to make a decision whether to play it, try and sway out of the way, play an aggressive shot, play a defensive shot. And quite often be the most difficult ones to keep down. Slight change in the field again. More of a square leg gully now for Labuschagne.
$103 for 2. Getting all the weather today. Bright sunshine now. Blue skies there, but there's still a bit of cloud around. crowd once again, just settling back in. A lot of movement behind the ballers on. It's one of the grounds where the spectators can sit in front of the sight screen. Great shot.
Well, the first ball back for Stuart Broad after that little interval was just a long half volley, full and straight, and Stephen Smith doesn't miss out on too many of those. Beautifully balanced. Hits the ball back through the line, powerfully struck.
Well, he seems to be back in the groove, Steve Smith. It's been all eyes on the pace, and that last delivery there, you know, it's chilly and it's breezy. 78 miles an hour. Net bowling. Into position early, and Stuart Broad is struggling into this wind.
It's a good bit of work from Josh Butler. Deep mid-wicket. He's probably covered 70 or 80 metres around the boundary line. Looks like he's dragged this one back and saved a run for his team. It looks like he's really labouring up into that breeze, Stuart Broad. From here, it looks like the breeze is going straight across the ground, but it's the way that he's running in. It appears he's actually pushing into the breeze slightly. You can see, you generally tell with bowlers when they're struggling pushing into the breeze and even struggling with their rhythm, just how long or how short their actual follow-throughs are. Even there, it looks like he's taking off a long way back. He's cutting the line. If you watch his follow-through here, it's very short. Followed through a lot shorter there, and that ball didn't actually carry through to Bairstow either.
Appealing for LBW, it's a slider down the leg side. Broad is interested. Time out.
And given leg byes as well from umpire Erasmus. He was a long way across his stumps there, Labuschagne. You can clearly see leg stump in behind his pad. He does create quite a big angle, Stuart Broad, to the right handers, pushing in there. On the way down. Long way down leg side.
Straight, keeping it full. 114 for 2. Just watch Stuart Broad at the end of this follow through. Watch. Whoa. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. And Maria Erasmus makes sure he knows that he can't do that. Erasmus came down and tried to repair that little area, but told Joe Root he cannot do that.
A few left-handed batters that won't be that happy with that either. Once some right-arm bowlers operating around the wicket to left-hand batters there. Trying to repair it with a little smile on his face.
Good positions, Steve Smith once again.
Good positions, but I must admit this looks like a very, very good batting surface. That little bit of rain that we just had as well, if anything, would make it a better surface to bat on. It's looked a little bit slower today, a little bit of rain on the top, just make that ball skid onto the bat that little bit better.
All four more, clattered.
Well, that's a captain killer. Got a field set for a straight line. You cannot afford then to bowl short and wide. It's the two slips and a fine gully, and you're bowling out there. We heard Nasser and Michael Holding during that rain break talking about how important they thought this first spell from Archer would be after the interval. Come out, bowl fast, really try and set the tone for his team. So far, that hasn't happened.
Steve Smith has got plenty of time. That looked a slow delivery. Well, he's not got it today, Jofra Archer.
Steve Smith's probably saying to himself, why on earth did I leave that? Short and wide again, quite similar to the ball that he dispatched to the deep backward point boundary just a couple of deliveries ago.
What's he doing?
He's back. He's back. He's been practicing that for the last 12 days. Solid in his backward defence, and here he goes. Look, just turned around and showed the ball on the back for some reason. He switched on. Whenever he's doing that sort of stuff and he's calling loud, he doesn't miss out too often.
118 for 2. Well, the captain's got a decision to make here. Jofra Archer is clearly not on form, not happy in the conditions.
I think it's a great challenge for Jofra Archer as well. The games that we've seen him play so far, there's always been something happening for him. Off the wicket with some uneven bounce, he's been able to rattle guys with his out-and-out pace. But right now, in the middle of a 90-run partnership between Labuschagne and Smith, there's not much happening. And that's when you need your fast bowlers to really stand up. It's exactly what Ben Stokes did for his team at Headingley with that 15-over spell that he bowled. It's one thing to be up and about and on top of your game when conditions suit, but when they don't, that's when you have to dig deep and find another gear. And that's what England need from Jofra Archer now.
Well, there's another bowler who doesn't appear to be happy, Stuart Broad. You just watch the follow through there. It's non-existent.
He doesn't look happy, does he? Got his wickets from the other end as well. There's some chat between the bowlers and the captain at the break. It looks like Archer's got his way. I think this might be Broad's last one, though, from this end. Either give Overton or Stokes another go down there. And then maybe rotate both Broad and Archer from this end.
last delivery, it's just brought a solid, leisurely forward defensive. There's no nip in the attack.
Very, very windy here at Old Trafford today. I mentioned a couple of overs ago, looks like Broad's pushing into quite a solid breeze. Just wonder in conditions like this as well, Bumble, if you actually need as many catches behind the wicket. Ball's not carrying much. Oh, he's going to have another. Poor old Marnus Labuschagne's trying to do the right thing there. Looks like one of Warney's chip packets just blowing across the middle of Old Trafford.
Well, if there is, there'll be another on its way.
Well, the point I was about to make before the road chip packet come across the ground was maybe have a short cover and pushing up into the breeze, straighten your field up. Mid on and mid off can go a little bit straighter.
There's another bag of crisps. He's getting a real strop on here, Stuart Broad. He's run in twice and the crisp packet has gone. Well, what's going on? Whose crisps are they? Bails have blown off. Bails have blown off, he's dropped his bat. Here's another crisp packet coming over. Stuart Broad's going to blow a gasket here. Here's another. Where is Warney sat? Where's he sat, Warren? He's not happy with the bails. No bails. Sensible. But he still doesn't know what's going on. Oh, look, there's some crisp packets coming again. Look at them crisp packets down there. They used to have heavy bails, didn't they? They were lignum vitae, they used to be. Oh no, where is he, Warren? Where is Warren sat? I reckon he's over there somewhere, in the bag of crisps.
Well, something you don't see every day in a test match. Bails on the stumps as we're on chip packet alert.
Well, we've had a delivery eventually. He's totally bemused. Well, they all are. The umpires could take the bails off if they want. Batting is easy when we have a delivery. It's 120 for 2. Saga of the bails, 120 for 2. Australia going well. Change up here. Shane Warne. Nasser Hussain. More bails, please.
Yeah, looks like the 4th umpire, the aptly named Rob Bailey, comes on with some bails. Heavy bails, the order of the day. Pulled away. There's 2 men out there. It's between the 2. Did you like my Rob Bailey joke, Shane?
Good afternoon, Nas. Good day, everyone. Yeah, it was a good joke. It's a shame it wasn't yours. Stole off Bumble as he walked away.
Joe Root just wants to know what happens if it does just go over the stumps. How will they work out if it's bowled or not? It's been a surreal 10 minutes. England haven't been great since the restart. Bowl both sides of the pitch. Just let some free boundaries.
Have you played in a game before when they've taken the bails off, Nas?
No, but I saw my son play 3 weeks ago for Hutton Cricket Club in similar conditions, and that's what the umpires did. Just took the bails off and said carry on without bails. So windy. I just thought in international cricket you had heavy bails and you brought them on straight away. I don't know what Rob Bailey is waiting for.
Might have been waiting for his coffee or something, because I agree with you. I thought there was always 2 sets of bails, a really heavy one in case this happens. I played in a game, Victoria, Tasmania, when it was very similar to conditions to this, and you could hardly bowl from one end. The wind was so strong they took the bails off. I just wondered, does that the LBW's change now? Umpire's call change on the DRS? How does that work? You know, if it's just clipping the top of the bails, they ain't there.
To presume they're there,
So
obviously,
we
for
assume.
DRS. We assume they're there, yeah. The interesting one is the Joe Root game, when it hit the bail and the bail didn't come off. First Test match, Edgbaston, where it just trimmed the bails. Bail went up and down. Another example of what Michael Atherton was talking about just ducking out of the way. They've stopped swaying out of the way for Archer. That was an easier line to duck anyway, anything over your left shoulder. Archer's got to get his bouncers a little bit more to the offside. What do you think about the ends here, Shane? Stuart Broad not only grumpy with the delays and the wind, but also he's bowling into the wind. Who would you give choice of end?
Well, you can understand Joe Root giving it to Jofra Archer down breeze and this end with his pace, but he's not bowling with big pace like he normally does. His pace is way down. Still bowling tidy enough, but Broad's the guy with 2 wickets. He looked the most threatening at the start of the day. I would have given Stuart Broad this end while Archer's bowling this stuff.
Lots of time there for Steve Smith. Looks a good pitch, 122 for 2. You'd hope that this is the 4th umpire bringing on the heavy bails. What's in the bag, Shane?
Well, you'd assume it'd be the heavy bails, but I just don't know. Took an over or so to find them.
It's a cap. It's not heavy bails at all. It's a cap.
Well, must be having a bad hair day. Well, that's interesting. Still no heavy bails to be seen. There's a bit of talk from the players about the bails. I don't think probably any of the players there would have played with this sort of conditions before and without the bails. As I say, I played in down at Hobart, and it was very similar conditions. Freezing cold, big winds like this. Could hardly bowl at one end. They took the bails off, and it was just weird running in as a bowler, looking there's no bails on. Overton's the new bowler, only just the 4 overs. Nash, you talked about England have been a bit poor after the break. Were you surprised that when Archer only bowled, I can't remember, was it 4 deliveries or something to Steve Smith, that 7 balls? Didn't bowl him really around the wicket, bumpers or anything like that. Were you surprised with the tactics?
It's been a bit tame, hasn't it? It's been a bit easier. You've got to remember Archer, only playing, what, his 3rd game? He's had a long summer. Bowling fast is not easy. You just presume that because he's bowled 90 mile an hour, the next day he'll turn up and bowl 90 mile an hour. Well, they found some bails. I think they're the same ones. They've just hit the stumps in a bit harder, and they're hoping that they'll stay in the grooves. So from the zinger bails in the World Cup, which wouldn't come off, we're now looking for bails that will stay on. Overton has the task of bowling slightly into the wind. You can see from the flags on the pavilion that it's mainly a cross breeze, but it is just slightly into the wind from that end. Been a few of those today that have just died. Not as quick an Old Trafford pitch. Will quicken up if the sun gets on it. But there's been a few that have just died going through to Johnny Bairstow.
We saw, I think he did a good 3rd man, Nass, sort of about Labuschagne, how the England team were going to bowl to him at the start. They started when he first walked in at Lord's, bowling outside the off stump, and now they're bowling straight at the start of the day. Just watching their plans to him now, looks like they're sort of back of a length, just trying to tie it up rather than fooling at the pads. The field's a more orthodox field for that type of bowling. 2 slips and a sort of a floating man. Where this morning we saw bat pad, a square leg, no mid on, no point. There you see a more traditional type field. I just wonder if they've tried that and they thought that didn't quite work. Let's just go back to normal bowling outside the off stump, that 4th stump. I think at the moment he's just a fraction short. Did you like that plan at the front pad for Labuschagne?
So, yeah, because he leaves it so well. Another batsman you're not going to bore out by just hanging it outside off, so why not? Brings in LBW, bowled, etc. More dismissals, and still nick off from straight as well. One from the over, 1, 2, 3 for 2. Two changes for Australia. Steve Smith coming in for Usman Khawaja. Mitchell Stark coming in for Pattinson. So it's a good attack, isn't it? Stark, Cummins, Hazelwood and Lyon. They want some runs from the next three. Head, Wade and Payne. Wade got 100 at Edgbaston, but not a lot since. Head has looked good for 20s and 30s. Payne yet to get to 20 and 30.
Just looking at the Australian side, Nas, and the changes this side, this would have been the bowling attack that England would have thought they would have faced before the first Test match. Stark, Cummins, Hazelwood, those three guys have been the main bowlers for Australia, with Lyon as the spinner. That's the side that the England players would have planned to probably play against. Yeah, they would have talked about the others, Pattinson, Siddle, but this would have been the main attack they would have talked about. Stark will be champing at the bit to get out here and play. Interesting to see how they go. That sort of four-man bowling attack with Nathan Lyon as a spinner has been the attack for a long time for Australia and done a very good job. It's been the batters that have really let the Aussies down. The bowlers done a very good job over a long period of time. But they've got to find in Labuschagne a fourth 50 in a row in this series. He's looked very organised. He looks a really good number 3. Can be quite attacking as well. The Australian batting lineup looks very good with Labuschagne at 3 and Smith at 4. Travis Head's got a lot of, as Nasser said, a lot of 20s and 30s and needs to convert one big score. Matthew Wade got 100 in that first Test. Bit quiet since then, but been a little bit unlucky too. Caught down the leg side and just need a big score, Head or Wade, one of those guys, another big score. But it looks quite a good batting lineup with Labuschagne and Smith at 3 and 4. You look at the batting averages, Stuart Broad's got his number. He's got him in his pocket, that's for sure. He's only averaging 11. He's a good player. He's got 2100s, David Warner. Harris has only played 3 innings, copped a couple of good ones. Labuschagne, look at that, 89. Smith, 141. Head, 32, and Wade, 25. Just Head and Wade. Oh, that's a good bumper. Head and Wade, just another good score each. Got to convert one of those 20s and 30s, don't they?
Away from that leg gully. So Labuschagne will keep the strike, 126 for 2. Few drops of rain on Spider Cam there. It's blustery. Looks okay in the distance. Been hard work being a spectator today, that is for sure. Cold, windy, wet. Update on Bailgate as well. Rob Bailey's bails weren't heavy enough. Going to put some screws in the bails so that they will become heavy enough. For now, they're sticking with those.
Oh no, is this a stupid question? Is why don't they just use zinger bails in Test cricket? Why wouldn't they just use them? It's so much easier for everyone to see, the spectators, the umpires. Ball hits the bail, the lights go off, and they're heavier anyway. So I just don't know why they don't use them all the time in all forms of the game.
As long as they come off. How did you find on a day like today, a really windy, blustery day? Did it affect your rhythm as a spinner or not? You just blanked it completely?
No, it does. It really does affect, you know, if you get a gust of wind when you're trying to come up the bowl or you gather, it can be off-putting and you can fight it sometimes and it sort of frustrates you. Edge, a runaway for 4. And that boundary brings up the 100 partnership. It's not easy as a bowler in these conditions with that wind. It really can be off-putting. You've got to sort of just try as much as you can to find that rhythm, try different things over the wicket, around the wicket, running in a bit faster, running in a bit slower, or try all the different things until you find something that works. It is a pretty even contribution from both.
Standing up. I thought I heard the bells fall off. My bad.
It's Labuschagne just saying to Joe Root there, I thought I heard the bails fall off. And that's why he pulled away. We had to just run round Overton there, and he's a big unit, Overton, and the extra rod to run round him nearly got him in trouble.
Yeah, it was Ben Stokes too. Excellent fielder, good all-round fielder, good angle to the ball. Look at the pick up and throw. Wasn't the best throw, but a good throw there might have had him in a bit of trouble. A good angle for the ball. Look at the way he cuts down the angle, picks up the ball, Stokes, and throw. And as Ben said, had to get round Overton. Not out, too wide.
Overton's not interested, Root's not interested. So no review, 131 for 2. Not playing a shot, so the umpire has to only decide, is it coming back enough to hit the stumps?
I think it was just the lack of bounce that did Steve Smith. I think he thought it was going to bounce a lot more than that.
Ben Stokes into the attack. And the Statham end. Oh, well. Earlier in the day, got a little bit of swing from the James Anderson end. That strong breeze will help Stokes's in-swinger to the right-hander. He'll swing it a little bit away, but the main big booming threat will be the in-swinger on the breeze, especially where he leans from. That's why it's a split field. 4 on the leg side.
Ben Stokes is someone you don't want to fire up and get angry. I think that sort of brings out the best in him. He's a type of guy now when nothing's really happening in the game and the opposition look like they're on top. He's someone who can produce something. Whether it be a special delivery, a great catch, a run out, a half chance. He had a bit of a half chance last over in the field. Just didn't quite execute the throw. He's always in the game, Ben Stokes, and he also has that ability to drag players with him, to inspire the rest of his team. He's that sort of player. Nothing like being at the ground, is there? Enjoying the cricket.
It's grim, isn't it? It really is grim. The bails are off. You've got to be a hardy soul to sit there and watch this. You've got to be a lover of the game. And they are up here. They're wrapped up warm.
I think we're going to get blown over. I feel like I could click my heels and say there's no place like home.
Here they come. Rob Bailey's heavy bails. Kumar might lose his hat as well. Not for a heavy hat, just going to go hatless. The umpire keeps blowing off. Heavy bails, see if these work.
Well, I think it's hit a high of about 12 degrees and a wind chill factor of -10. That brings it down to about 2. We've had the bails come off, the crisp packets all over the ground.
Can you play club cricket up here? Didn't you play in this part of the world, some club cricket?
Yep, played at Accrington in the Lancashire League.
You'll be used to this sort of weather then, won't you?
Oh, I don't think you ever get used to this weather, do you?
Just a few screws at the end now. Now batsmen are worried it's going to nick that screw. And
sure, in these modern times we do something about putting screws in a bail. Come on.
Just telling Steve Smith there is a little bit of outswing there from Ben Stokes. I was debating whether he could swing it away into this strong breeze. But Just a hint of shape away.
Well, we saw Jack Leach bowl a few overs and a couple turn and spun big. Just the soil here at Old Trafford. Manchester always will turn no matter what day. It'll just get bigger and bigger as the game goes on, but it's the pace it turns that it can be a threat.
134 for 2. Partnership now 106 between the two best players in this series anyway for Australia, Labuschagne and Smith. Oh, that's a good ball now. Too high. It's a good nut though. Seamed away, just bounced too much.
I tell you what, you could just see the way Overton was running in there. That was going to be a good ball. He was charging in a lot harder into the crease. Yeah, time's run out. Just watch the way he ran in and the way he hits the wicket on a good length. I think the high, as Nasser was saying, yeah, too high, but it's a better energy on the ball. Running in harder into this wind looks more threatening.
It's just getting a bit of shape here on that breeze. Bit of rain falling, it just a bit gloomy. It's a good time to bowl. Let's have a look at that LBW shout outside the line. Missing going over the top, but it was a fine delivery.
This is the first over I think we've seen in a while that just looks, Overton looks like taking a wicket. You can generally see when a bowler bowling the right area, the way he's charging in, there's a good vibe out in the middle, plenty of energy on the bowler. Just looks like he's going to challenge the batsman.
Yeah, I think he feels it as well. He said to Joe Root after that delivery, maybe another catcher in. I'm just getting it to shape away to that slip cordon. Too straight, got a bit too greedy there.
Lovely that, overs. Lovely that there, overs.
This rain's getting heavier now.
Well, if it did rain now, they'd take tea. The reason they didn't take tea earlier was because they didn't want too long a session. But it's heavy rain now, and I reckon they will probably go off. Try and take tea. One good thing about that wind is it blows it through pretty quickly, the rain.
That was pouring for one ball. Pouring rain for one ball. What's going on out there?
Back cut. Nicely cut away as well. 4 more. 138 for 2.
couple of words there from Overton. Ben Stokes to continue in the middle, continuing up here. Syrians with Mikey.
Lancanas, wind still interfering. Get the impression that the England players think that people are throwing things onto the ground purposely from one side of the ground because they know it will blow across. Oh, that was wide. Whoa, that was wide. Brings up his half century though.
I've seen him play some very interesting shots. But have a look at this one. Just watch. Now he's on the move, he's decided he's going for it. He just about reaches it, he has to dive almost. Bit of calypso cricket.
It brought up his 8th Ashes Test 50 in a row. He's breaking his own records, Steve Smith. He held the record obviously for 7, now he's moved on to 8. Doing another very good job here for his team. 115 runs, the partnership between himself and Labuschagne, putting Australia in a pretty strong position. Would have been interesting if he had stretched as far as he did and got an edge or lofted it to the man at backward point. What he would have thought of the shot. Labuschagne doing no such thing. Anything wide of off stump, he's happy to let it go through. I think what happened with Stephen Smith there, though, Beefy, was the fact that it was so full. As we have always seen, it's the length that draws batsmen into playing at wide deliveries.
I haven't seen anyone actually have to dive to hit it before. That's all the bowler wants, thrown over his head. Single from the final ball. 44 for 2. Very much full ball, as Mikey was saying. He went after it, and there again, just times it so well. It just keeps on going. Pulls it and scared of that position and play, that shot. That was a fantastic shot. It really was. Short, wide, put away. That's the one for me. I love that. Diving to reach it. What a way to go to your 50. His 8th consecutive 50 in Ashes cricket.
Well, Bumble did say earlier on that this pitch isn't as quick as some people would expect, but just having a look at the last test match with Ben Stokes' dismissal in the first innings, that's what I'm talking about, with batsmen being drawn into playing at length. It's a full ball, but look how wide that is. But because it's so full. Oh, yes, got his wicket, got through the gap.
This is a good delivery, very good delivery. Which nips back. Look at that for seam movement. Just flicks the stumps. All it has to do. We've got the breakthrough, broken the partnership. Ravachane goes for 67. It's 144 for 3.
Great catch, unbelievable stuff.
He has been sitting a long time in the dressing room, waiting to get out there, Travis Head. And this is why he's there. That came back inappreciably from outside the line of off stump. Have a look at this again.
You felt someone had to do something special to break the partnership. Overton's done it. Just looked as if he got some rhythm there the last couple of overs. And more threatening. Here he comes. Sharp. Said been waiting a long time. Rain breaks. Sitting in the dressing room. Perfect. Make him try and play the ball.
Wrong line. That will race away, I think.
Floaty half volley. You're on naught. You welcome something like that. Some runs against your name. There he goes. Timed it nicely.
Sort of movement that we saw him get to get rid of Labuschagne, that should suit him perfectly now against the left-hander. Pitching anywhere close to mid-stump, getting it to drift across the body. He has to play if it's pitching mid-stump. He gets close enough to the stumps to force that play. Oh, Gus wide, just wide.
Well, run 3, but Rory Burns did well. Got a finger or a thumb to it. 151 to 3. Carry, but soft hands down. You don't want one on the end of the fingers in this weather.
You saw Lavishane's expression there, Mike. He looked back and thought, how did that get through there?
It did a lot more than he expected, a lot more than previous deliveries had been doing. Could see he started putting the bat in the line of the initial line of the ball. When it came back, it was dragging it back across the line, too late. Ooh, movement again.
I think just the angle, I think, Mikey, more than movement. I think he just came in Stokes and just fired it across him, I think. Just goes straight on over. Long way to bat, but this is a nothing shot.
Just squeezing it off the outer half of the bat. Smith will be looking for 3. Gets back comfortably. Heavy bails or not, they keep falling off. Batsmen should be happy to hammer those stumps. Get them as low as you possibly can.
Surprised that delivery's not been tried a bit more. Right up there, almost Yorker length. Watch Smith play this. He's wandering across. Then he has to get his legs out of the way so he can play the ball. Yeah. Try that a bit more often to him.
And swinging the other way, swinging back into him from outside off.
Helps on his way down there, doesn't try and hit it too hard. There's just 2 men out there. Not sure I'd race off and go and look at a computer if I've just got out.
Looking to see what he did wrong.
Didn't do a lot wrong. Give credit the bowler. Once in a while you have to, and that was a fine delivery. 155 for 3.
Arthur, what have you got for us?
Well, a question for you two gentlemen. 632 wickets between you two fine bowlers. So answer me this. Was that seam movement from Overton deliberate, or was it just natural variation? So if I show you a split screen of the ball on the left is the ball before he got Marcus Labuschagne out. And you'll see that he's holding the rough side to the left-hand side of the screen there. He's not a swing bowler, he's a seam bowler, obviously. But for the wicket ball, he turned it around, put the rough side to the right-hand side, so he's actually turned the ball around, and he gets that ball jagging back. But is that just kind of luck of the draw? Is he just hoping to hit the seam and something will happen, or is he deliberately trying to nip that one back, do you think?
I think he's deliberately trying to nip it back. That's why he spun the ball around, to get the shine on the outside.
But shine affects swing, not seam.
Yes, but if it starts to move in, as you saw, it did start to move in before it pitched. When it hits the seam, it will continue in that direction. It's unlikely to go in the opposite direction because Shine is on the outside. If Shine was on the inside, you had a possibility of it hitting the seam and the straightening. But once the Shine is on the outside, it will continue in that general direction.
Credit to the bowler then.
Definitely.
Some new batsmen to give it to us once in a while.
And what was noticeable about that as well, and a lot of the deliveries, is that whatever movement there has been, it has been conventional, opposite to the Shine. Times it so well, Stephen Smith. He won't get 4, but he'll get 3. What Overton has been trying to do is to get balls pitching on mid-stump to go away from Smith towards the slip cordon. It's not happening, so he has to adjust his line when he tries those deliveries. Shine on the inside, they've got to still be pitching the ball off stump, just outside off stump.
That's a good line to the left-hander. Committed to the shot. Good line, good length.
Round the wicket to the left-hander, just drifting in. End of the over. 160 for 3. First and last bowlers used have been the wicket takers. They broke the big partnership, that of Smith and Labuschagne. Need to keep going though, England, while Australia will be looking to build another partnership. Few moans in the stands, but wasn't a catch.
No, good stop. He's taking a couple of blows on his fingers. Corey Burns played nicely straight down to the ground, dives away, fingertips again. Good stop.
And the pain. It's very cold, so once you don't get it right into the palm of your hands, just getting it on the digits, it will hurt. Oh, that's full. How straight is that? Damasceno isn't impressed. Is sending it upstairs.
Thank you. TV umpire to director. Player review for LBW. Original decision is not out. Can we start with the front foot, please? It's a fair delivery. Can you go to front on spin vision, please? It appears ball close to the bat. Can you go to ultra edge, please? Roll forward. Roll forward. Gap between the bat and the ball. And go to Hawkeye when you're ready, please. Okay, thank you. Can I have the on-field umpire on camera, please? Kumar, pitch outside the leg stump. You're on camera. Make a signal now. Thank you.
Good decision from umpire Kumar Damasceno. Pitched outside leg.
I have to say, Mikey, I thought it was almost on the full that it struck him, but excellent piece of umpiring. We're talking fractions here. You'd see that given out a lot of times. These umpires are the best.
Oh, well bowled. Went other way this time. That's why that man has been placed there, looking for the lofted flick off the pads. Wide of him, though.
Sure, he's fully in control of that. Just wide enough. Timed nicely, so there's enough pace on it. Gets past the US in the top corner of the goal. Not much you can do about that.
43 overs, and I think umpire Damasceno is saying, is it T? No, should get another one. It's 165 for 3. Constantly moving behind the bowler's arm.
Strange as well, isn't it, really, because it's not as if it's anything new.
Well, that's a members' pavilion, Beef, and as far as I know, only members and their guests are allowed there. So if there are members or guests of members, they should know the game.
Absolutely. It's amazing how many times it happens.
Always in control when he plays that shot.
It's going to be a bit quicker, causing problems.
And higher. get it a bit higher. If he does attempt the shot, it's a bit more difficult to hit down on it as he has done there.
Also, I think with Steve Smith, it wants to be more just outside off the line of the bouncer.
That's where he should be bowling. Over the wicket, pitch it in line with the stumps.
And also, he's got 3 slips. Fine gully. If he comes around the wicket, he takes them out of the equation almost. Wrong line totally. It's expensive. So you've got to show patience. That's a poor delivery, poor line. It's for 4. Now he's going to come around the wicket. So do you need 3 slips in the gully, or do you need a leg slip?
Well, I'm not too sure why he wants to come round, but he should know what's happening. He hasn't got the skill that we have seen from Stuart Broad in particular, who can go round the wicket, slant the ball into the left-hander and then still get it to go away. We haven't seen that from Overton.
Where did they say that hurricane was at the moment?
Just north of the Bahamas, heading towards West Palm Beach and Fort, and
sure.
It's further up by Melbourne and those places in Florida, Beef.
You sure it's not heading into Stratford?
I think by Sunday, the remnants of it should get here. Not yet. Well wide, no need to play at that. So Australia go to tea at 170 for 3. Smith on 60, not out. Being the thorn in this England side yet again. And Travis Head, his partner, on 18, not out from just 17 deliveries.
You've got to admire Steve Smith. Took that nasty blow at Lords and missed the last game, but you wouldn't think so the way he's played. I can't think of him playing and missing at any stage. His timing on its way to yet another 100. 3 wickets gone then. Harris, Warner, Shane, who I thought played very well again, had to have a good delivery from Overton. Smith not out 60, Head not out 18. 173 from 44 overs.
Again, just the 2 bowlers to have taken any wickets. Stuart Broad got the first 2 and Overton the last of them. Labuschagne, who was building such a very good partnership with Stephen Smith.
Well, the hover cover goes back on as a precaution as much as anything else. It is looking pretty dismal out there, I have to say. The lights are shining brightly. In the background, there is some very heavy grey stuff. We'll see what happens over the next 20 minutes and just hope that there is enough light and no rain after tea that we can continue. But in the meantime, our tea break will be used, as we normally do, just to review the day so far.